What's up, failure? Now, before you get too salty and get raw that I called you that, I'm talking today about failure because we all do it. And if you're not, then you're actually failing even bigger than you should be because that just means you're not trying anything. Now, the reason I'm talking about this is because it's been on my mind a lot lately, especially after having a workout on Wednesday that really was in a lot of ways, it could have been classified as a failure. So I know I haven't done a Dadbod video in a while, and I've been debating about how I want to go about doing these. That doesn't mean that I haven't been consistently working out. That also doesn't mean that I haven't been consistently staying on top of my diet, because I have. So no, that is not the failure that I'm talking about. I'm actually doing better than I would have thought of, given the circumstances of just how crazy life has been. But the failure comes from just the exercises that I was trying to do because I'd never done them before. As I've told you guys, the boxing gym that I've been going to, it's called Factum, and it's an MMA gym on one side and a CrossFit gym on the other. And for the last 4 months, the majority of what I've been doing there has been MMA. Even more specifically than that, it's just been boxing. However, now that we've moved, now that I live closer to the gym, I've been trying to get to CrossFit 3 times a week and being able to do this, and man, that's a whole different realm of workouts and exercises. It's just totally unfamiliar and uncomfortable for me, which is a good thing. It's a very good thing. So on Wednesday's workout, it consisted of just simple warm-up, and then our strength exercise was doing front squats, which come to find out I suck at those. And one of the reasons that I could never get the weight up any higher than I could was just because my form wasn't correct. It wasn't that I was weak, but it was that my form wasn't correct because I hadn't been properly taught how to do that, because you can only get so far when you're trying to just learn things on your own. Now, I am a huge advocate of learning how to do things on your own. I have repaired water heaters and done car repairs, and I have an entire career because I learned how to do style stuff by reading blogs and watching YouTube videos. I am a huge advocate of learning how to do things on your own or finding your own resources. But there are times in your life when having a coach is a very good resource. I've found through my failures in being able to get my diet to the point where I want it to be that I need a coach, which is why I'm working with Blake. And I've found through my own experience with a lot of weightlifting and other working out that I just can't learn this as well on my own as I've been able to adapt to other things, and so I need a coach. And he basically helped me out as far as being able to learn that I'm not getting my shoulders up, and you can check out on the footage that on some of them I do it right, and on others I don't. You can see where I struggle and where I don't, and it's mostly just about my form because the weight doesn't change. But where the real failure came in was doing overhead squats. Now, I've never done these before. I'd never even tried them, but in my head I'm thinking, okay, well, I can press a certain amount of weight. I could squat significantly more than that, so combining those two shouldn't be that big of a deal, right? Yeah, I was wrong. I was super wrong. Doing an overhead press and having my arms out properly and shoulders locked and having all that, it was ridiculous. So the prescribed weight to do this for Wednesday's workout was 75 pounds, 3 rounds of 10 overhead squats, 20 overbar burpees.
If you want to, go ahead. Less work the better, right?
30 pendlay rows. And then one 100-meter farmer's carry with 50-pound kettlebells in each hand. Kind of brutal, very mentally tasking. And for me, I was like, okay, well, I've never done overhead squats. I'm not going to do 75. I bumped down to 65. Yeah, I bumped down to 65 pounds. And I thought, okay, well, we'll give this a try. We'll see how we do. And you can see how this went and see how I did.
Wide, all right? There you go. Good. Squeeze that bar. Reach the drop down. There you go.
I kept falling over. And eventually it got to the point where I couldn't even do it with just the 45-pound bar, and so my coach had to put a box behind me, and all I had to do was hold the bar over my head, sit down, and stand back up.
Yeah.
Even that was brutal. And I'm still feeling it in my shoulders. I'm feeling it in my calves. Like, I'm sore in so many different places from this one dumb exercise. And I hope that I handled it well. I think that I did, because really, failure for me, I don't know when I made this mental shift, but failure for me has just become a thing that it means that I'm trying something. And I'm actively trying to teach my kids that failure is a good thing because it means you're pushing yourself. And my wife and I, we reward our kids when they fail as long as they're trying something new and as long as it's not a moral failing. But when they screw up, my daughter got a bloody nose the other day, and I was super excited for her because it's the first time, and it just means that she was trying something new, and we tried to get excited about it and not make her feel like there was something wrong because she failed. Because again, it just means you're trying something. Now, I could have very easily, and at other points in my life, I would have very easily been super embarrassed because everybody else there, including the girls there, could comfortably do the prescribed workout with way more weight than I could overhead squat, and my ego says that I should be able to do better than that. But I just decided that failure was going to be part of what this process is, and so I decided to embrace it. And it just makes me excited to see, now that I know where my baseline is, what my continued progression will be. Now, obviously, this is not something that only applies to me and to weightlifting. This is something that applies to you in social situations. It applies to you in relationships. It applies to you in your style and in your appearance and in your presence. Because I will tell you that as I started dressing better, if I go back and I look at some of the early photos of the blog, they are failures. Like the clothing that I was wearing and the execution of the style that I was doing, especially as I was presenting it as, I'm a style blogger, I know this stuff. It's bad. It's really bad, and that's fine, because rather than wallowing in that and getting caught up in it, it's much more important that I just see it as I'm marking one in the L column and then I'm moving on. That's it, because failure is an inevitable part of life, and without it, then I can't actually gauge where I am, and I can't figure out how to get better and to move forward. And so I don't know if any of you guys are actually struggling with this. I don't know if you guys are petrified at the idea of failure. I know for me, when I was in high school, the reason I never really got good at riding a BMX bike, I told myself it was because I was afraid of getting hurt. But I was more afraid of getting really good, and I was more afraid of not getting really good. And so it was really easy to just not try. And I have a feeling that a lot of you guys may be in that same situation, or may just be coming out of being in that same situation. And it sucks to feel that way. So often, the modern world, we just are stuck in mediocrity because we're afraid of failure, and we're equally afraid of success. This is our comfort zone. And the more we can push ourselves out of it, aesthetically, financially, physically, spiritually, whatever way you want to come up with it, then the better off we're going to be. So learn from my failure. Try to laugh it off when you have it happen to you. I hope you guys liked the video. Leave me a thumbs up. If you want to join me and a bunch of other men on an undertaking that will help you overcome failure, it will help you be comfortable with it, develop a stronger presence, and be able to lead, check out this link right here. If you want to take your archetype quiz so you can better understand where you want to start as far as starting to dress better, take this quiz right here. And if you want to follow me on social media, check out all this stuff right here. I'll catch you guys on the next one.